What's going on, everybody? This your boy the Black Akashi, and I'm here with another One Piece video. Now I'm going to try to upload more One Piece videos as we wait for the release of chapter 1000. Well, by the time this video drops, it'll already be out. If you enjoy the content, leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more gaming and anime videos. Now I'm here to talk about the bounty system in One Piece. Now this has been on my mind a lot lately because of the bounty craze that's been happening in the manga and soon to be happening in the anime, and also the anticipation of other characters' bounties being revealed in the future, specifically Dragon's bounty. But first we have to talk about the purpose of the bounty system in One Piece. Now, bounties in general are created by the government to make people help in catching a certain person and receive a reward for it. The bounties in One Piece are normally issued by a government official or by the Marines. The idea is to tempt others into aiding the capture of the criminal so that they can be brought to justice quickly. You can bring the person in dead or alive, but depending on how much pull you have, you can change the status of the bounty to only being alive. We saw that with Sanji's bounty after his father found out that he was still alive and needed him to form an alliance with Big Mom. Bounties in the eye of the public is meant to portray the threat level of the criminal in question. The greater the threat, the greater the bounty. But in the eyes of a pirate, it's meant to display how strong someone is, and depending on how quickly you can get a high bounty, two things can come from it. One, being offered a spot in the warlord system, or two, pirates will be drawn to you in a good or a bad way, forming alliances or just seeing how strong you really are. Which sounds like a good thing to the Marines, but the second option is, but the alliances would be a bad thing, depending on who's fighting who. But we saw that in Mocktown when Bellamy pulled up on Luffy, questioning if he was worth 100 million, and immediately regretted it later on. Now that we have an understanding of the purpose of the bounty system, I want to talk about if it's overrated or determines one's real strength. Now, I have a higher pedestal than most people for the bounties when it comes to certain characters in One Piece. I feel like the bounties should be treated a lot better than it currently is, but I still love what Oda's doing. I see the bounties as more of affiliation and rep than in terms of strength, but that just depends on the character. With characters like Ace, who is the son of the Pirate King, only had a bounty of 500 million, when Goldie Roger had a 5.5 billion bounty. But to counter that, it wasn't revealed that he was Roger's son to the public until Marineford. And also Luffy, who's the son of Monkey D. Dragon, he has a 1.5 billion bounty, but his was revealed in Marineford, and he didn't get to 1.5 until freaking Whole Cake Island. So it didn't take to the time skip to finally reach that level, which he should have been. He should have been in the billions as well, just like Ace was. But that's just my honest opinion. But like I said, I think bounties should be displayed on affiliation as well as strength, because in my honest opinion, bounties are meant to get fans hyped more than to display how strong a character is. But at the same time, it's meant to display how strong and dangerous a character is. But if that was the case, then Blackbeard should have a higher bounty than 2.2 billion, because he has Whitebeard's Devil Fruit, which has the potential to destroy the world if used to its full potential, and his own Devil Fruit, the Yami Yami no Mi, that allows him to nullify all Devil Fruit users in range. But the only reason he has that high of a bounty is because he quote-unquote killed Whitebeard and has two of the most OP Devil Fruits. And after the events of the Payback War, the government had no choice but to give him that number. But Blackbeard is a calculating man who only moves at the right moments, so maybe his bounty is correct for the time being. Whitebeard was labeled as the strongest man in the world and only had a 5 billion bounty. I felt like he had that low of a number is because he didn't move around that much and only wanted to have a family of his own, so that's why he was so low in my honest opinion. Even after Roger's death and it was labeled as his era now, he still kept a low profile despite having a don't mess with the Whitebeard pirates rule, which goes to show you how dangerous this man's Devil Fruit was and how strong he was. Another person up for discussion is Nico Robin, who has a 100 million bounty. Someone who can read the poneglyphs and potentially help Luffy find the One Piece is only worth 100 million? That makes absolutely no sense considering how the government went through all the trouble of killing her whole bloodline just so no one else could find the One Piece and the ancient weapons, and also putting a 30 million bounty on her head when she was just a little kid. She was also a former member of the Baruch Works and is also a member of the Revolutionary Army, so that should have boosted up her bounty to a higher degree, considering that they're the enemy of the government. Nico Robin deserves to be in the billions because of that feat, but she probably won't even reach that level until the end of the story. Speaking of Revolutionary Army, I'm concerned about Dragon's bounty as well, because he's the real enemy of the government and we still don't know his bounty. But we do know that his second in command, Sabo, is worth 600 million. So that leads me to believe that Dragon, aka the enemy of the government, might be at least $1 billion. Oh hell no! Which is crazy if that's true, because second in command should be in the same range as the leader. Stop! But let me elaborate on that, because I'm not saying that the number 2 is up there with the number 1. Because Katakuri has a 1 billion bounty and Big Mom has a bounty of 4.3 billion. Zoro has a 300 million bounty while Luffy is sitting at 1.5 billion. But Luffy hasn't earned the title of Yonko yet, but we all know Zoro is his right hand man. Even Kaido, the world's strongest creature, who's sitting at 4.6 billion. His 3 commanders are in the billions as well. And King's bounty is still unknown for now, but we all know that he's the second in command. You can either say King or Queen is the second in command. But either way, my statement still stands that they should be in the billions as well. Shanks' bounty is 4 million, so Ben Beckman is speculated to be at least 2 billion.
What?
Now I know that's a cap, but listen to me for a second. Shanks has the most balanced crew in One Piece. They all are highly respected and feared. Ben Beckman had a man that could move faster than light, scared of the blicky. And not to mention, he stopped the freaking war. By he, I mean Shanks. Like, that's a Hall of Fame team right there. And I know you're probably thinking, if Ben Beckman has a bounty of 2 million, that means he's stronger than or close to Blackbeard. And if you thought that, then you're the real MVP, because we don't fuck with that Zehaha bum around here.
Fuck that nigga. Okay. Stacking prayers, stay out the way.
I mean, Blackbeard said it himself that he's not ready for the red-haired pirates. And Kid's crew got washed when they pulled up on him. Like, Kid literally lost an arm trying to fight the red-haired pirates. So, come on. I mean, what more do I have to say besides put some respect on Shanks and his crew? With Shanks confirmed to finally start making moves next year, maybe his bounty will increase. So what I'm saying is that the second in command should be in the billions, but the leader's bounty should always be tripled no matter what. Now back to Roger and Whitebeard. I feel like they should be in the double digits instead of the single digits because of their rep and what they did back then. Roger should be at least 50 billion for being the Pirate King, and Whitebeard at least 45 billion, since he was the only person in the world close to the Pirate King and was a member of the Rock's Pirates. If the government was more serious about their bounty system, they would put certain people in the 100 billions or something, because, as I said, bounties are meant to show how strong and dangerous someone is. So wouldn't you want someone to have a high bounty so numerous pirates attack them non-stop? But at the same time, it could backfire, because that person might really be worth 100 billion and can drop you in 1 second like Conqueror's Aki. But the Marines would much rather prefer the pirates kill each other than killing civilians. But, like I said, if bounties were taken more serious, then most of your favorite characters would have much higher bounties than they do now, like Zoro and Usopp. I personally feel like Zoro should be in the 500 million range because of his fight with Mihawk, and the fact that he survived it. The fact that he survived it will make people respect and fear him, just like the red-haired pirates. Usopp, the same category, because he has been clutch since Enies Lobby, and he only has a 200 million bounty. He saved Dressrosa from being slaves, and Thriller Bark. He shot down the flag declaring war with the government. Like, this man is so clutch. Like, put some respect on God Usopp, man. Like, come on. Like if the government knew every detail about certain pirates like we do, then their bounties would be way higher than they are now. Sanji only has a 330 million bounty. Is mostly because of his last name being affiliated with the Germa 66 and because of the events in Whole Cake Island. Like, he would be in the 400 million range if people knew his last name early on, because the Germa 66 is like the Power Rangers of One Piece and are extremely popular in the North Blue. There's so many people that deserve better bounties than what they currently have. But it seems like the only person they got right was Buggy, who is sitting at 15 million. While we've all been wondering the mystery of Dragon's bounty and his Devil Fruit ability, I feel like the one we should really be focusing on is Mihawk, the world's strongest swordsman. Now, I think he'll have the highest bounty out of all of the warlords. I predict that he'll be in the billions, at least 2 to 3 billion. Like, you gotta understand, Mihawk has had the title of world's strongest swordsman for so long that nobody but Zoro is worthy of giving him a challenge or taking the title from him. He's also fought Shanks numerous times, and Shanks has a bounty of 4 billion. So that leads me to believe that he's in Yonko bounty. He's in the Yonko range when it comes to this bounty. Like, no cap. The only reason he participated in the Paramount War was to see the gap between him and Whitebeard, which we still don't know, might I add, because of his right of Jonzo the Diamond. Mr. Diamond is unbreakable. But, you know, once Shanks pulled up, he said, alright, I'm gonna head out. Nobody fucks with him. Nobody's fucking with him. Clearly nobody's fucking with this man. He was so strong that he had look, man, he's the world's strongest swordsman. If you have that title, you're definitely in the billions. World's strongest man, Whitebeard, 5 billion. World's strongest creature, Kaido, 4.6 billion. Mihawk, world's strongest swordsman, or the world's greatest swordsman. And you mean that you telling me with those 3 titles, you mean to tell me that this man Mihawk is not in the billions? I am telling you, Mihawk probably has the highest bounty out of all of the celestial dragons, out of all of the warlords. I think, why you think all those people pulled up on, all those Marines and stuff pulled up on Mihawk? Like, they got a freaking admiral with them too. Like, come on, man. Mihawk is Mihawk is in the billions. He's in the billions, man. You don't have a title like World's Strongest Swordsman and not have that kind of title with it. But in all honesty, how do most of you feel about the bounty system of One Piece? Is it being used to its full potential, or is it perfectly fine? For me personally, I don't think the bounties in One Piece are overrated, but they're not being used to their full extent, if that makes sense. Thank you for watching the video. Leave a like, comment, share, subscribe. Thank you, and I'll see you in the Grand Line.